People of Jamaica, there is a coming food shortage. There's a famine that is coming, and the government, they have come together and they have planned this carefully. Now, listen, there is nothing that happens upon this earth that Jesus Christ don't tell us, and he tell us because he loves us. And persons keep on seeing the evidence, and still you guys don't believe. You guys have a lot of confidence in your government, and I don't know why it is that so many persons just believe in the government and believe that they're unable to do certain level of evil, because these persons have been doing it over the years. So I don't understand why so many persons are still so hard-hearted to just believe blindly in these persons. These persons are forcing a famine upon us, and if they can control the food, they already have. I have a lot of information where I know that this is something that is carefully planned and is being carried out. So as soon as you get this, if you can just relate it to somebody, let persons know the truth. If you can plant something in your backyard, whichever garden you can farm, just do what you have to do to plant whatever you can, because there is going to be a great famine over a great period of time. Watch this video for me, please.
Dad mentioned it to me. He's worked in the agriculture industry for over 40 years. This year, farmers are being offered 1.5 times the value of their crops to destroy them. What does that mean? That means that the farmer cannot afford to provide you with food based upon the taxes the government is levying on him if the government doesn't in turn give him back his tax money to provide you with food.
Is it true that the government is paying farmers to destroy their crops? And the simple answer to that is yes, they are.
Initially heard about the government paying farmers to destroy their crops, I thought it was a low. Well, lo and behold, we received our destruction notice the other day. So basically there was two options on how to destroy the crop. The government could fly on Agent Orange, or we could manually destroy the crop ourselves. But we put too much blood, sweat, and tears in it to let them destroy it, so we decided to manually do it ourselves.
I got my letter yesterday. The letter asking you to destroy some crop. Along with the letter, I had to sign for a certified package, which included these two binders, and then of course this 3-ring binder on how to properly dispose of your crops. And as you can tell, it's on government paper. And as you can tell, this here is the affected area in my section of the county, closest town, and of course you can't run away even if you live. So from the county tracts, then they break it down into these individual farm tracts that you have to destroy. And you can see the crop or the field.
This is the second machine that I dropped off here for the local farmers. Just want to show you a little bit of each drum. You got 4 of these drums, 2 on each side. Now you can imagine the damage they can do, not counting the blade which you could set down. So the farmers got paid by the government. I don't understand what it's all about, but they got paid. Now they hired us to come in here and just destroy whatever we can. I don't understand how it all works, but we're already paid for a certain amount of time. You can hear the first machine already running out there. So when you hear them farmers saying they're getting paid to destroy everything, they ain't bullshitting y'all. Y'all better start paying attention.
Well, what you saw right there ought to concern you. I was doing exactly what I was told via a letter I got last night in the mail from the Department of Hydrocarbons. They said in order to stabilize oil prices, they need a bunch of oil just dumped. And not dumped on the market, just dumped on lease roads and field roads and things like that. So I'm hooked up to that oil tank, going straight into my truck to get rid of it. Well, I'm going to get fined if I don't get rid of it, they said. So that prompted me to call District Selectman Tony Deloge and ask him about this letter. He said he didn't know much about it, but he would suggest that I follow whatever it says. So here we go. You know, these are some serious times right now. Since January, oil prices have been through the roof. I'm seeing more and more farmers on TikTok saying that the government's paying them to kill their fields. Agent Orange, I saw a guy with a lawnmower mowing down beans, getting paid to do it. They're controlling food. Now they're going to control energy. I don't understand why this is going on. But I tell you what, if they control food and they control energy, what freedom do you have left? Man, isn't this something?
This is the container that was in the video yesterday, and we have unloaded the container. Freight is setting at ports. It is not moving, and we're talking ports around the world. Now, the freight that was on this container was shipped 37 days ago. This is that freight behind me. Somebody is intentionally hindering freight from moving back and forth. There are ports that are stacked. The directive is let it set. We are definitely going to experience shortages, the likes of which you have never seen.
They're trying to keep me quiet. I need you guys to blow this up and stop scrolling. Control the food supply, control the people. This is what's happening. This is the truth. As a fourth-generation farmer, I am hearing cries across the United States. They're taking from farmers and ranchers and hardworking Americans. And by 2030, they want to take 680 million acres across the United States, kill family farms, control the food supply, control the people. Are you guys ready to stand up?
So one of the things we're going to be talking about this week is the apparent fresh food shortage that's going to hit Europe and the UK over the next few weeks and months. This has been completely orchestrated, and it's absolutely terrible that this is likely to be happening right now. There is plenty of fresh food being grown at the moment all over Europe. We have no shortages. Farmers have no shortages, despite the weather changes that we've been having recently. There is an awful lot of fresh produce in the fields at the moment, as you can see behind me. This is purposely going to be bought in bulk and destroyed to create an apparent food shortage. Folks, start listening, wake up.
So right now the federal government is offering farmers 1.5 times the amount that their crops are worth to destroy them. I know it sounds crazy, but just look it up. Don't use Google because they filter your searches. Use DuckDuckGo and you'll be able to find reliable information about this. Anyway, and if the farmers refuse to do this, then that same government will refuse to give them subsidies. I truly believe they're creating a food shortage, or they're going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, stunning scenes from the Queen Victoria markets in Melbourne, where police were sent in, according to the report, to deal with 1 or 2 coronavirus protesters, but then summarily proceeded to push everyone out of the market. These are scenes literally from dystopic movies like Soylent Green, where the scoops were sent in to push people away as they were trying just to get food for their families. What is going on in Australia? And this is not the only example. There are other farmers markets where police were sent in and patrolling, and people were pretty alarmed by this, not understanding why a police presence is suddenly required at a neighborhood farmers market. And there were no protesters there. Why are police suddenly being sent and using force at places where food is available in Australia? I would suggest that it has something to do with this report, and many like it. Warning, Australia is running out of rice, and may be completely out by Christmas. And furthermore, they're shutting down the beef industry right now at the same time. Australia is a bellwether for the rest of the world as we watch our crops devastated by the grand solar minimum and exacerbated by a deliberate destruction of our food supply in order to take total control.
Now talking about things like trolley police.
We have a major food supplier in the United States known as Augustin Farms has just ceased operations. They put out a letter to their distributors saying that they could no longer fulfill any orders, period.
Because all the food chain is going down. You hear about the closures. The food processors are going out.
So I just thought it was interesting. This a lot of people have talked about this, but Kissinger, a globalist, you control the oil, you control nations, control food, you control the people.
Now, if you're a regular to the website, you'll know that on many times over the last couple of months, maybe longer, I've been saying to stock up on tinned food because it was clear that something was coming down the pipeline way back then. Only now are we starting to see this materialize. The reason I said this back then wasn't because I was clairvoyant, it's just because from various sources, from farmers, from food production companies, you could see that something was being deliberately halted.